Alright, this is the project we've got right now. 76 Jeep CJ5. Going to clean it up a little bit. It's not going to be nothing too radical, just something to ride around the trails. Go clean the paint up, clean up underneath. As you can see, it's not very bad considering it being a Jeep and being this old. They're usually rotted out, but this looks like it's been pretty good taken care of. So let's see what it comes out to be. Alright, all I've done was took just this old glass cleaner. It actually acts as a pretty good degreaser, and you can see which it's drying right now, but you get all the loose stuff off. It cleans it up pretty nice. Next we'll throw some paint on there, just get it looking a little better. Like I said, it's just gonna be a little trail buggy, but try to get it looking as nice as possible. Now we're going to start on the back, and as you can see, just like the front, it's not in bad shape at all. This is a real good Jeep, very solid. Go around the other side. Very solid. Ain't no rot anywhere. We'll see what happens. Now that we've got the underside cleaned up, painted and everything, you can see a little bit back in there. Now we're going to focus on the paint. And it's not in bad shape, but you can see it's pretty clear, but it's a little cloudy. So we'll see what we can do with that, and you can hear it. So we'll see what we can do. Let's show you the products that we're going to use. First off, we're going to go with the waterless wash. It's not filthy, but it's not clean. That'll help get any of the little bit of dirt off and just get it cleaned up. Then we'll take the clay pad and go over it. You do the same process like a clay bar, and it's just on a pad, and you use the ceramic detailer. You can use just water, but this is the kit that they offer. It's a pretty good kit. I've used a clay bar and I've used the pad. We're going to use the pad on this one, just see how it does, because it's not going to take much to get this to come back. And then we will use the ultimate compound. Since it's not going to take much to get this to come back, this here you ain't going to need nothing to really cut. So we're going to use the ultimate compound, and then we'll top it off with the liquid wax. So y'all hang in there and we'll see how this turns out. What I'm doing now is just taking the latches off. You got that up there. Then got the other side off. Just anything that will make it easier to buff, and you won't have to worry about going around it. Like you've got that thing up there, those two on the hood, and you've got the one in the center. You know, just get as much off of it as possible. That way it's less stuff to have to buff and everything. So we'll clean that. And it'll just make it look a whole lot better. Alright, this is after one round of clay bar. You can really see the difference. Well, hear it. I believe it's going to turn out pretty good. Now that we've got the clay barn done, now we're going to do our first little bit of buffing. Let me show you what we're going to be using. Right here, We're going to use the Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. Since this is not going to need a lot to come back, you're not going to need anything real aggressive. That stuff is really good for stuff like this. And just using a Harbor Freight Bauer DA polisher, it does really good. I've used it on several vehicles and even a tractor, and it does just fine. So hang in there and let's see what happens. Alright, one thing I've done, it's a little tech tip, I guess, is I went around and put tape on top of all the edges of anything not paint. I still gotta go around the antenna, I forgot that. But especially this, all the old rubber, if you don't do this, that black will come off on your pad and get onto the paint. Which, just being a black Jeep, you wouldn't notice it, but if you're doing a white vehicle, you would definitely notice it. I'll get around the top of the windshield, but that's where we're at so far. And all this is, now this tape here is kind of expensive. It's about $10 a roll. It's 3M precision masking tape, and right there's the part number. But this stuff is very, very good for this. It's real stretchy, so you can go around corners, but all you gotta do is take the edge and give it a rip, and it rips way easier than any other that I've ever had. So that tape right there, like I said, it's the 3M precision masking tape. And right there's the part number. You can get that at any auto body store. It's very good stuff. It's just a little on the expensive side. Here is just a test spot done on half the hood. Obviously there's where we was before. You can see my hand, but it's not clear. And you come over here. Oh yeah. Now, they still scratches in it. This paint is not perfect by any means, but it's going to look a whole lot better than that right there. So y'all hang in there and let's see how this whole thing turns out. Well, here's the final transformation. This is after a round of buffing and wax. I use the wax on the buffer. It's the Meguiar's liquid wax. And I think it turned out pretty good. It's still got scratches, but for a mountain toy, it'll do just fine. We'll get a little bit better pictures once it's out in the daylight, but it's the first little glimpse of it. I think it looks pretty good. Alright, we finished the buff job on the old Jeep here. I believe it's turned out pretty good. Looks a whole lot better. Ain't got no haze to it. It's really shining now. Kind of a shame to take it up in the mountains and get it dirty. But I believe it'll work. Here again, it's a 76 CJ5. Got a 304 3-speed. It's turned out to be a pretty good little Jeep. A lot of fun. We will get a lot of use out of it this year.